out. That nigga's nice. Yeah, go ahead.
New always talking shit show.
Yes, sir.
What's good? What's good?
It's your boy Talkin.
I am your boy Akeem Sincere.
It's another episode of the Always Talking Shit Show.
There's a lot going on. What's good with you? Actually, man, you take it. You take the top, man. For the last 2 episodes, we've been engaged in. You've been bringing us into your world.
I don't know if my world's gotten like
of, you know, your VR world, your RP world. So
like
before we get into today's, you know, somewhat of a serious, groundbreaking topic, we'll let you jump in. What's up, Florida Matt? What's good with you, boy? Hey, Florida Matt, we're going to have to bring you in and start doing some stock tips, man. Have you do a financial section. Wake these cats up.
I'm going to be on the funny shit. Let me take this damn jersey off.
This nigga.
This has been a blur in the game. I ain't going to hold you. It's been one of them.
What you know about that, Matt?
So I guess this week in the game.
Shout out to Tyson. It's free promo. Hook us up. It's terp infused, my guy. Oh, shit. Okay, my bad.
So this week in the game, I don't know. This week been a blur in the game, to be honest. This has been like a blah-ass week, so it ain't been like nothing too exciting. I mean, as you go fucking with the new things, niggas, you got. So,
do you have a rep?
I fucking don't.
All right, then, hush. Go ahead.
Well, nigga, you. I'm just saying, you had this like what the fuck, but it's something new. Like, you gotta be ready for it to be different.
I'm trying to think. What side? I'm going dark side out.
You sure? Because it seemed like it's like rolled already the way it should go. You feel me? All right, anyway, so let's go back.
Yeah, man, you tell you. I'm doing it. I got you.
You know, you tried to Dr. Phil that situation for me. She left me. She couldn't deal with the controversy wrapped around a nigga. You know what I'm saying?
She was weak, P.
I thought that too, but I didn't want to be the dick to say, am I right? Is that right? Like,
but then again, no. I take that back. She wasn't.
She was strong enough to
You
leave.
had a lot of shit going on.
I did, but what did I tell you it was going to do? It's dead.
But that's easy
that
for
shit
you
died
to say.
in a day.
For you. You know what I'm saying? That's one-sided. I get what you're saying.
And you remember the niggas
But
tried
in
to...
the scenario, I would be like...
The niggas try to murder me and shit. We fucking fucked them up yesterday, nigga. Ran down that whole block, tore that shit apart. Burn it down. Then I'll light up because niggas was, figured it out, nigga. If we could be 4 against 20, nigga, we'll wrap that shit up and with a good...
Damn, why?
With a good strategy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I know why. Don't worry about it, Matt. We're going to link for that. That's going to be an epic event. Go ahead.
With a good strategy, we went down the alley, cut off both ends of the block, shot in, killed everybody. Shorty left me. Me and the ex kind of talking. we on like friendly stand. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, nigga, absolutely nothing is going on in this goddamn game right now.
Nothing happened to me this week.
Well, I guess that's good, right?
For the most part, yeah, it's decent. Like, fuck, did anything like? Hell, I had a brother that fucking jumped ship, went to the gang that's trying to kill me. So I had to kill that nigga. That hurt Doc a little bit because even, it's my brother.
Okay.
Had to bury that nigga. He's robbing my house and shit. Forgot he had a key to my shit, and then he jumped ship.
In case you're tuning in, he's talking about a game. Yeah, but
I caught like 8 bodies last night. That was exciting.
I wonder the effects this shit has on some people in society. Like, I mean, I wonder if they could, like, what would be the numbers? I don't think this is the case, but you know how they be saying it?
Right.
Like, what would be the numbers of mass shootings correlation with, like, these type of games?
Fucking role-playing video games?
Not even just role-playing.
Just period.
The object is you just shoot people.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, they used to always try to say that Grand Theft Auto caused a lot of the, like, school shootings of back in the day anyway. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hollywood and the Hollywood community, though. I don't mean to sound like it was boring this week, but, I mean, everybody's life's different in the game. This week, just, this last couple of days was just blah. Doc was Doc, and,
Holidays, man.
Right. Halloween was cool, though. I dressed up as Spike Lee. That shit was cool. Took Jalen around. Bro, we took Jalen out for an hour. Bag full. About 5 pounds of candy. Because, they always tell you, like, go to, like, the richer neighborhoods or whatever, quote, unquote. You go to get the better candy and shit. Well, I live in one of, like, I have a nice little neighborhood or whatever. And I ain't even had to leave the fucking spot, nigga. I had to just get in the car. I had to walk.
One thing I can always say about Vegas, I remember that when I moved here when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
They always was like, that's a big holiday here.
Okay.
Like, I don't care where you at. You about to get. That's one thing we did.
You about to get it.
When we got to Reno, I was like, damn, man, like, they're kind of like stingy up here. We used to have pillowcases full of candy, fam.
Start selling that shit. Has so much.
Be at school trading your ass off, nigga.
But yeah, I feel bad, Usually I got way more exciting of a story with the game, but just this week wasn't it.
Hey, got it. What's up, Trace?
It ain't always gonna be exciting.
No. I gotta take this off. It's hot as hell. Man.
But okay, hold on. So today something did happen. So some niggas wanted to lead a group today, right? I run a mafia. I don't run a fucking street gang, right?
Okay.
They want to slide and rob everybody every 2 seconds, nigga. There's rules to this shit. You can't just do that. You gotta have some type of rapport with the crew you want to fucking shoot at and shit. You can't just run up and shoot when you ain't got no beef established. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So these niggas all want to leave the crew and shit and don't want to fuck with it no more because we're not just active 24 fucking hours a day. Like, nigga, I don't want to. These niggas really have niggas is building a case on me because one of my brothers in the game went to jail and nigga he heard him talking. He's like, oh, we got a Dragos in the building. We're gonna interrogate him now. So you got a Dragos? Yeah, we got a Dragos here, nigga. So nigga, they obviously building on me already. Like, come on, bro. This ain't 100% real life, but nigga, they gonna start handing out RICO cases like candy in this motherfucker.
Can you get a RICO case?
Yes.
That might be wild. I don't know. Y'all be wilding.
I fought one already in another city. Took us all, nigga. They then brought SWAT in, nigga. Took us all down at once, nigga. A coordinated attack, nigga. Went to the trap houses, my main house, my business, nigga. They hit it at once, nigga. Boop, 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 get on the ground.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't even watch cop shows. I don't. That's bad juju in my opinion. I don't play. Fam,
so
I just
you
don't
feel
do
like
that.
if you get hit with a RICO case, it's bad juju for you in real life?
Nah, I just feel like stay that way in everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Trees, we're seriously
Bro, I don't even
talking about a game. You know what? One day I'm gonna play this shit on the stream. I'm gonna play it for like 15 minutes just to give niggas like just a little taste, nigga.
No, you can upload it to the page. That's nothing to do with our stream. Like, we're not about to sit there and watch that shit. You can upload it right after. You know what I'm saying? Upload it to the page. Upload it to YouTube.
Okay, dickhead, go ahead.
I'm just saying. Why we all gotta be pulled into the game? Like, we like hearing you talk about it. Watching it it's like baseball, fam. Like, watching it ain't the same as playing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you playing it, I'm sure it's
baseball
probably.
It's not fun playing it, watching it, going to a game. Baseball boring. Golf is one
playing
of the things
baseball.
that's fun.
Playing baseball is way better than watching it. Is my only point.
Oh, no.
It's a fact.
I hate baseball.
Okay, well then take your bias out of it though. Think about it. Like, I'm telling you, most people that don't really care for baseball will be like, I'd rather play baseball. I'll go play softball or something like that rather than watch it.
They say
golf is fun.
Boring. Golf
is lit because it's an experience. It's a vibe. You get to bring out the cigars. You get to, hit the tray. You get to have a little drink, you know what I'm saying? Ride on the cart. Nobody's really good at golf. You know what I'm saying?
No, Treese, where you get it confused is I'm not hella serious. My character is hella serious.
Sis.
I don't get it twisted.
No, sis. Look at you seen the last drive. That's when we talked about this. Shit be spilling over, nigga. Don't be getting spicy.
It don't spill over for me. So she needs to relax. It spills over for a lot of people, but I just don't spill over for me.
You're saying that, but we're all watching your temperament and how mad you like. Dog, go, but you be in your bag over these games, over this game. Like it's too realistic to not spill over. Like, even if you just listen to what you just saying, like, I know it's a game, but these niggas got me for they ain't gonna be Ricoing me. Like, nigga, to a nigga that don't play this game, know nothing about the game. And then you damn right they're gonna be watching there like, oh damn, y'all crazy, y'all talking about a game, and you hella serious. That's why I said it like that, because everybody wasn't watching the last two streams. So like when you hear it, if you just come on and how you just popped on talking about it, like picked right up, you ain't giving no context or nothing. That's why I said, and just in case you don't know, he's talking about a game. That wasn't a jab. That was so that if I'm gonna get on this podcast and listen to this shit and be like, wait, what happened? This nigga did what? We already get striked for hella shit on this damn Facebook, man. You know what it is. But my bad. Would you finish? I ain't trying to step on you.
Yeah, we're done.
I didn't say that. Yeah, we're done. All right.
You make me not want to even talk about this shit. Motherfuckers look at me like I'm fucking crazy.
Dog, don't blame us. It be your temper, nigga. Like, look, right, even right now, nigga, why are you coming at me? That's why niggas would say that shit.
I'm fucking crazy.
Nigga.
It'd be the same as 2K, nigga. If I was playing 2K every day, certain things are gonna piss me off about that game.
Okay, but that's your temperament, my nigga. You know your temperament. Why you acting like you don't know you?
Nigga.
Everybody else know you, nigga. Don't get mad at niggas for knowing you, nigga.
It's not. It has nothing to do with serious. It's just competitive. I'm not serious. But it's still there's competition.
Okay,
in the game.
but fam, hold on though. No, that's fine. Because there's competitive people that are a lot more composed. So like some competitive people aren't composed. So when it's not in the form of and you gotta understand that that's a good point. Because when you talk about this type of game setting, it can get competitive. But if you're not playing the game and listening to the fucking conversation you're having, no, it's not, nigga. You're just shooting at each other, and you got mad because you got shot. That's how it runs off. Like, you got mad that, like, oh, nigga, what do you mean? Like, you lost 100 keys. It's a game. But when you're talking to somebody, and y'all going back and forth, and he like, nigga, I'm about to rob your bitch ass for the 100, and they pull it off, yeah, you gonna be like, all these bitch ass niggas got me for 100 keys. Nigga, my sister's a grown ass woman, and she gonna be like, wait, y'all talking about a game? Right? And then that's why I said that, dog, because when you start talking, I know what it is, but I started laughing because I was like, damn, if somebody didn't know what we were talking about right now, they would think this nigga's on a hot mic snitching on himself. We've been, and like you said, the way they giving out Ricos, we need to be clear in this joint. Look, hey, matter of fact, every joint, look, ATS is not a gang. Like, nigga, we're not involved in any criminal activity, nor do we encourage it.
but no, because it is a competition. Who's got the most money? Who's got the bitch? Who's got the cars?
But Dre, you gotta explain that. And I know you don't be wanting to over-explain that every time.
And I have it all.
But you kind of do, right?
I have. You know what's crazy? It's like right now, I have it all.
Nigga, that's hella funny.
I have it all, but motherfucking oh man, that shit. So no, I have it all, but I guess not the female right now. But it's like,
is there a little saltiness there?
No.
Okay, all right.
nah,
I'm just checking your temperature, man.
I'm just chilling. So nah.
And you know what? We may have been hard on Shorty in the comments. Was we going too hard on her?
Nah, it wasn't even that. Like, that's not what it was. She's like, oh, I thought about it. It's just. Oh, shit. Nah, that shit. No Shorty. So, I mean, essentially in the game of life in here, I'm doing well. I'm great. Fucking awesome. I just don't got a bitch.
So that is an issue.
No, I'm just saying that's like if it's a competition, that's the only place like
so
some
even
people
even
will
having
have
a girl is part of the competition.
Of course.
So when you say that, do you mean like a competition in terms of like said girls that's in the city, or just like
just the image?
Oh, okay.
It's the image. Do you got?
Yeah, see, this game is very image.
Do you have everything for the image? You know what I'm saying?
This is gonna sound crazy. Can you be like any body type you want in that game?
Nope.
Okay, that makes sense then. Cause nigga,
but no, because they're trying to get fat like
they should be able to
people,
diversify that.
And you can have a chick that has ass, a chick that has no ass. Every dude's got a 6-pack and is like cut.
Right. That's what I was saying too.
The face, like you like got to put your face together. Like you could put an ugly nigga together. And if nigga you got a voice that a motherfucker don't want to listen to. You gotta think about it. If the chick don't like your voice, my nigga, she ain't finna be around you the whole time, bro. Some gotta be in your voice that she wanna listen to, bro. Because you think about it's your voice that they go off first, and then your personality they get into no second. This city makes an emphasis of having a behind the Abby section where you can see the females. Oh my God, hold on, audience, I gotta tell my coworker something. He gonna bug the fuck out, but I'm not.
You just call me your coworker?
Not well, my co-host, my
That's just funny. It just sounds funny. Like we. Okay.
We're gonna turn this back on for a second until I actually find the picture. But I'm about to blow my homeboy's mind. Pause. What the fucking info I learned. Ain't no way that the picture got she took him down. Maybe she did.
Ain't no search.
Yeah, right here. No, that ain't her. Am I spelling Malaysia wrong? Oh no, we don't type in there. But nah, bro. There we go. Show me one here. That's hella whack, bro. She's gonna piss me
All right.
off, bro.
Well,
Either way.
Well, I don't know what he's looking for, but
Okay, so I can't find like her actual like pictures, but you see, it's one of like the ones who's like, oh wow, right? Okay. But yeah, that's what I found out.
Hey, you know, you was just hella mad dramatic to do that. You could have just hit that and told me, and then
I couldn't find it. I just found it.
I'm just saying. It ain't even about showing me at the moment. It's about the gap pause, nigga.
No, wait, I had the thing on for a second until I found the picture again and had to say what I had to say.
You wild, B. Hey, I was about to say, nigga, what is you doing? Like,
anyway, yeah, what's up?
see?
That's where it's dangerous, though.
Nah, see?
That's where it's dangerous because, oh, god damn, oh my god.
Hey, man, obviously you're going to deal with people that's not really who they say they are when you're dealing with any type of situation like this, nigga.
Nigga been with, there's a dude in the game that been with her a whole year. Do you think he know?
It don't matter. Maybe. Who cares?
How would you feel in a situation like that?
Nigga, you know I wouldn't be in a situation like that. I don't play these games. I'm not ever playing these games.
But I'm saying,
nigga,
like, the people, they're not disclosing this like you would IRL.
My nigga, I don't meet bitches on the internet. Excuse my French.
I'm
What are you
just
talking
saying,
about? No,
like,
I'm telling you, asking me. I'm telling you. The reason why I'm not worried about that is if, I mean, it's going to sound fucking cocky almost, nigga, but, bro, my personality is such that, like, I'm just an old ass nigga in a younger person's body. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, it would have to be in the physical. Like, listen what I'm saying. No, listen what I'm saying. No, hear what I'm saying. No, hear what I'm saying. It would have to be a physical experience in terms of the nature of, like, we at a party, I meet someone, and I'm like, oh yeah, you see that nigga so and so, and they be like, no, that's not a dude. That nigga, he used to be a girl, or that's not a girl. That used to be a dude. Like, those are the experiences that I would have. That's more realistic for me. Like, getting to know someone to the point where I have any kind of connection with them, and I haven't been in a room with them. That's just not. I've never done that, and I've never done it to the point where now I'm old, nigga, and I'm low key scared of shit like that. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not.
It takes catfishing to a whole nother level.
See, bro, I used to be intrigued with that show because I was just like, damn, this shit happens like this a lot. Like, I just thought, anybody that's ever been catfished, you niggas is wild.
If you spend a year, like even in a fake.
What's up, moms?
Glad it's not a color.
What's he saying?
I feel like you should probably get the female.
Hey, don't hear that shit, nigga. Fuck out of here.
Get the female.
It's not a female show. Although I do appreciate your support and I love you.
Co-gamer, forgive me and say hello. So
Forgive me, I didn't say hello.
Imagine being in a whole year-long relationship and you didn't know.
That's just the thing.
I just seem like that's something like you got to disclose. Like you would have to.
Well,
IRL.
you would definitely have to do that in any.
Really fuck somebody.
Well, that's
up.
obvious. Look, okay, so are you talking about in the game now, or are you talking about real life?
In the game, because I think they talk IRL too.
Okay, so disclose this, like, because niggas don't know what the fuck we talking about. So you have there's a friend of yours in the game that's transgender, but dating a male figure, but in the game. Hey, to me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm trying to throw myself in, and people might be like, "Oh, Kim, you lying," but I feel like if I'm playing the game, well, nah, it's crazy because y'all talk to each other,
right?
So it's like it ain't like y'all just playing the game. Like y'all really be talking to each other, and oh, that's my girl, and that's. So we just live in a world where, dog, you just got to go back to the old school and get to know people. Like, and if you're playing a game like this, you have to just take it for whatever it is. If you're playing a game like this could happen. If you're meeting people on dating sites and a lot of social media-esque type things, this can happen.
Okay, well, this is a good question. Do you feel
you can meet someone that was formerly someone else, and they might not have had the courage or the conviction to tell you.
But do you feel like in a game setting they should tell you like they would in a real life setting?
I feel like in both settings you should.
Told, period.
I feel like you should be told. Like, a motherfucker want to know who they dealing with.
Right.
And this is my thing. They'll try to make... Oh, we didn't fuck around and stumbled into a pre-topic. All right, well, we're going to get on with the show soon, y'all. But
we are, bro. Here's what I'm saying. Like,
but this is what I'm saying. This is my thing.
Right.
a individual. A lot of times, heterosexual men often get accused. Oh, you gonna share the desk with your boy now? Huh?
I've been trying to.
Nah,
I just didn't say anything.
nah. Well, nah. I don't hear it.
Get the fuck over.
We go through this
start
all the time.
talking.
We go through this all the time. Watch your mouth. We go through this all the time. But anyways, the heterosexual male community, right? We're not all the same, but a lot of times, if you check that box and you speak about this, what I'm gonna call a insecurity, right, or a fear, it gets confused often as being a phobia,
transphobic or something,
right, and it's not a phobic type thing, although it's a thin line, because there are transphobic heterosexual men that can make the same point but be making it as a mute point, like they really just don't like your life choice. They think you're going to hell or some stupid shit like that, right? What I'll say is this: if it's human interaction on any scale, identity should be like at the forefront, right? Identity should be at the forefront. The funny thing is, the thing that divides us the most, I guess, our second most probably, which is our skin color and ethnicity. Motherfuckers don't be offended by that. Like, if you were on the game and a woman represented herself as Puerto Rican and found out she was a white girl from Montana with blonde hair, blue eyes, real pale skin, like, you don't feel like is in this game, right? Do you feel as violated as if she said that she was a woman and her birth certificate originally stated her as a man?
I feel like I would.
You think it'd be the same?
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't know. But what I do know is
I'm not gonna be disrespectful and be like, look, that wasn't right, that you didn't fucking tell me.
But what if her character and her avatar is a Hispanic chick, like type chick? And what if she speaks real well Spanish and gives a good accent? So she's role playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? What if you make your character have long locks and talk with her like, you know what I'm saying, Jamaican act like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just asking. Like,
I get, okay, so
you get what I'm trying to say?
There's that line.
Not in necessarily a deceitful way, but more so like I'm in my bag.
Right, but
so, and I'm only walking us to that point because if we're gonna be okay with that,
why not be okay with it in real life?
Dog, this is where it gets tricky.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, in the game, every male character has a six pack. Now, that's a mute point because it's standard that way. But let's say it wasn't. Let's say it's not. Okay, look at people's avatars on Facebook and Snapchat. Dog, I'll get a kick at how many people my skin complexion, nigga, that think they're light skinned. Like, your hair's not long and flowy like that, chick. Like, or you might want to add a little chubbiness to that. Or you want to add, nigga, you ain't tall like that. Like, you ain't skinny. Like, you're not buff. Like, you can see how people either desire to see themselves or actually see themselves when they get to depict it. And the thing is you know how they used to always say back in the day, you probably used to hear this, like, oh, well, if you could see yourself walking down the street, you wouldn't recognize yourself. Because you don't look the way you see yourself in the mirrr.
I heard that before.
And to me, I always thought that was
like,
freaky.
How is
like,
that possible? I've seen my face in the mirror so many times.
I know me, but if you really think about it, that's why there's a such thing as photogenic people and non-photogenic people. I think photogenic people, like, have a consistent look in imagery and, like, in real life, right? But there's some people that you can see a picture of them and be like, oh, she's cute. And she walked past you and be like, that's her. Same thing with guys. Like, you know, oh, girl, he's all right looking, you know, and then they see you in real life. Wait, that's him? Like, so it's just we all had that one picture and be like, who is that? Oh, no shit, that's me? I know I'm not the only person that's seen a picture of themselves and been like, wait, that was me? Okay. That's me right there? I don't even recognize myself at that stage in life. So when I think about it like that, and I see how people when they get the chance to describe how they're built and how they look and their skin complexion and their hair length and all that, and their beard, like everybody got a healthy beard, nigga, on their little thing. I ain't gonna never put the fact that I can't grow this right on this side, right? Like, you know, this got one little piece that don't grow in. I'm never, if I'm doing my beard,
This shit gonna be
that shit
perfect.
Nipsey Hustle. Nigga. That shit gonna be like, yeah. Like it ain't gonna ever look the way it like I be putting it through. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it just made me
about a game. I wouldn't take you wouldn't take it that seriously.
No, wait, Latrice, you gotta understand though. It's people, like it's a thing. This VR RP world. That's why look, they're doing it with Facebook. Right? Like there's coming where like a lot of the social interactions that we do and things like that, people are going to be having Zoom meetings with avatar characters about real business very soon, because it's going to allow you to be in multiple places at once and handle business under secure identification. And it sounds crazy because that's how they test it. They put it in entertainment first. They do things like that. Like, but it's a real thing. And there's a lot of people that you know, that you work with and interact with, that when they leave their moneymaker, they go home and get on a laptop and they have relationships, they have children. And this shit is crazy because you have a person in the game playing your child.
Your sister on here, she wasn't here for that fucking Second Life episode we were talking about.
She wasn't on a live, but she could have probably watched it.
Yeah, because that shit, dude, they got the whole prostitute, the pivot, whole ring, everything, bro.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it like that. What I'm saying about the looking you never heard that, Latrice? Like, you never heard where they say that if you could be have an outer body experience, right, and walk past yourself on the street,
we wouldn't know it.
You would look right at yourself and not know that was you, because that's why. Look, we've all done this because we all over 30 in this right here. Everybody then went a couple of months, had that one day where they walked by the right mirror, or had to put on the right outfit to go to a certain spot, and was like, "Oh shit, yeah, I gotta, I gotta change some shit up when I get home because this is ridiculous. I don't look, I done got a little chubbier. Like I didn't, or damn, maybe I need to shave. I didn't realize this, man. My face, I got food all in my beard. Like, let me go trim down real quick." You've had those moments, but the thing is, if it's just because it's natural. You know what I'm saying? It's natural, man. Like, because you almost look at people superficial if they're always kind of like checking themselves out and checking themselves like, oh my God, I'm getting a little fat, I need to go work out. And then you look at them and they got a six-pack. You'll be like, man, who is this superficial ass dude? Yeah, man, bring some shit, man. No, it ain't your shits, man. Those are my nephews. As you should have. Hey, you're a good father. Okay, well, Latrice, that's my thing. So that's what we're more speaking to. Like how, like, to me, it says something about a person. It's not a good or bad thing, but it says something about a person's personality if they have a chance to draw themselves or depict themselves, and they have they're accurate in a way that most people will see them. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like if they have a gut, they have a gut in their avatar or in the picture of them. If they have some people will see, are like more able to like, are more honest, I guess, in that. I don't even know. Maybe it's that they see themselves more truly. And maybe there's no insecurities behind it. None of that. So they just like, oh yeah, I got this. And then there's other people that I've seen it. I've seen chicks that's literally a light hue, lighter than your boy. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, who's this? That's not okay. That's how you see yourself. And it's not a thing. It's just an observation. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I know cats that's tall and real skinny, but if you notice their avatars, a little hubbed up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's all. So I just thought that was kind of, like when I think back to people saying that, I'm like, well, maybe people don't have a good perception of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody's attracted. Like someone's always attracted to somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, but Latrice, it gets real because we've been studying this over here. Like, there's people that, this is Dre didn't have to get rid of some of these chicks that then took it a little too serious. He know what time it is. He know that. Yeah, bro, because you just got the white chocolate Kit Kat. What you over here bringing the exclusives for yourself? Nah, man, I don't want that. Gosh, damn. Let me get this white chocolate cookie Kit Kat then. Hey, Jalen, your dad down here. Oh, man, you lucky he got to go to school tomorrow. Hey, man, you parents got to relax, man. Playing warden with the kids' candy after Halloween. Y'all foul for that.
Playing what with the kids' candy?
Warden.
That nigga got in school. Hold on. Yep. I'll tell a story today about how I played warden with this shit. Hold on. I sure did play warden. This nigga fucked up and didn't get in school today. They had to hit Tori up for something he did. He didn't get no fucking candy when he got home. I was eating the shit out of his candy in front of him.
Yeah, man. It's lessons you got to learn. You know what I'm saying? But, I don't know. It correlates. Back to what we were saying. It correlates. Let's get on with this show, man, because it is getting a little late, and everybody's talking about it. Like, with me, that's why I was shocked. That's why I didn't feel the need to really call you, because it was like, oh, he know. Because that shit spread like wildfire. So if you don't know, your boy, let me stop with that. Alberto Martinez, better known as Alpo, a.k.a. Rico from Paid in Full, was executed about last night or around yesterday morning. Was executed in Harlem. And a lot of people thought that he had refused witness protection because they seen him out. He was coming back into the city, but I guess he was still in witness protection. They had his witness protection ID and all that stuff on him when his body was found or whatever. There was a pursuing chase, allegedly, and I guess in fleeing, he eventually crashed into another car, and they say that the shots rang from a drive-by at that point afterwards, that they drove by the car and shot him. If that's what happened, this was a definitely professional type hit. But to me, when you look at the gun, it looks like somebody walked up on the car, right? It looks like somebody walked up on the car, and then you see the 5 shots center mass, kind of, all in a cluster. So, I don't know. I'm not the police. I'll let them do their own job. It just got me to thinking about, I always used to hear stories about Demencio, you know what I mean, who's a street legend out of Brooklyn. And I used to always hear about him. And so it was crazy because a lot of people play on the idea of damn, Alpo was grimy because, he allegedly, he admits to it. He murdered his friend Rich, and in essence, no matter how he spends it, it seems to have been over money when these cats was making millions together. You know what I'm saying? So it's always, and then it's tied into the fact that in the process of him trying to pay a ransom to get his brother home safely, he was murdered by his friend, causing his little brother to be murdered because the ransom was never paid. Mm-hmm. This is a tragic story. It's a story that's always been folklore in New York City, and it's always been something that since the movie Paid in Full, it's been folklore hip hop. Like it's probably one of the most. It's easily top 10 most quoted movie in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But in the movie, a lot of people had problem with the glorification of certain characters. Poe being one of them, man. And you know, when he got out of prison, he got out to folklore status. Some people had a problem with it. Some people said, "Hey, just trying to give a rundown, and then we'll just give our opinions." You know what I'm saying? Of the matter after. In the story of Alpo, you know, so I guess it's 17 murders or something like that that he's personally attributed with. But I have three names that in the hip hop urban community, especially along the Eastern Seaboard in the 80s, early 90s, these are the names that rung out. These are legendary street names. You got the DC legend Big Head Gary. You got Dementio Benson, like I said, from Brooklyn, New York, and then you got Rich Porter from Harlem. These are dudes that in their communities, their names we're talking about a subculture here. You know what I mean? In that subculture, in their community, these are legendary names, right? Alpo killed all three of these men, and he's admitted it. So we're not. This is all public record. We're not doing that. You know what I mean? But yeah. So with all that being said, you see the reaction of when he got out, right? And he was spotted. He was almost like a superstar. A man has been literally offered millions of dollars to sit down and do interviews. He didn't do one. He turned them all down. He was just, you know, kind of living his life, I guess. But it's always going to be a lot of speculation on what happened. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to come out. But I start thinking about all the videos I've seen with the friends and loved ones of the dude known as Big Head Gary from DC. I've watched several interviews with Dementio Benson's son. You know what I'm saying? And just heard the legendary stories about this good-hearted dude. That was a solid dude, you know, money getter, all that kind of stuff. Jay-Z's even shouted out Dementio. Rich Porter, his character is legendary. Mekhi Phifer, eternalized him, right? To me, it's a sad story, but it's so polarizing that it's almost weird. Because just weeks ago, the story with Alpo was just like, yo, that's not y'all business. Half of y'all wasn't born or in the streets. Let that man live his life. He's an example that, you know what I mean, all that other street shit, nigga, is nonsense, right? And, fam, there's a lot of people that never thought that. I was like, yo, there's always going to be a play. The streets are unforgiving and undefeated. You know what I mean? And it looked like they just rocked the boy to sleep, like, you know, let him make his bed. But when you think about those people, I didn't want to look it up. I didn't pull it up. I was going to have you pull up the video and show it, but we're not even going to do that, man. If it's something that's of interest, you can. When he got out, he did one interview. Let me correct myself. But it was really controversial because in that he basically just showed a guy that he was in prison with that got out to like start a YouTube platform. He showed him the route that he took, showed him where he was. Like, yeah, I was at this stoplight right here, you know, was right here, and that's why I had my man shoot him in the back of the head. And he's talking about the heinous killing of one of his best friends. And he talks about, you know, it gets gory. I'll let you go check that out on your own if that's something that y'all want to get into. But there was a viral alleged video. I didn't look that up either because, like I said, I don't want to even take on some of this energy of Rich Porter's people and family and stuff like that, celebrating, popping bottles. I feel like after your loved one is slain and it's made a pop culture, like, iconic movie about it, and the people that are involved or the person involved is like one of the stars of the movie, that allows him to, like, you know, get out and command $1 million interviews and things like that. And, you know, this man got killed when he was 55. You know, I think Rich Porter was like 19, 20 maybe. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to judge anybody on how they react to that. You know what I mean? So I will say long live the three gentlemen previously before I mentioned. Rest in peace to everyone involved. We're not picking no sides over here, but it's something that's polarizing in the culture and in the community, and it does need to be discussed because Paid in Full is all of our, it's in all of our top movies, right? People be paid in full characters for the movie, right? One thing I heard someone say is the way he described the way Mitch went out. The way Rich was experiencing his last moments. It's chilling, and I seen a comment under a video where a person obviously seen that, and they was just like, "Yo, I don't wish nothing on nobody, but karma, I'm willing to bet everything he told us that happened to Rich in his last moments happened to him too, because at the end of the day, we're all human. And bottom line is, if when you die, you use the bathroom on yourself. You know, it's a nasty thing, right? It's a nasty sight. And we all are human, but that don't need to be expressed, right? Like, if I'm around someone, that's one of the things I didn't like about Gene Deal, man, when he talk about Big, because it's just like, bro, we don't need to hear that. You talking about one of our legends, Duke. Relax. I don't need to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like, relax. That's one thing we do got to get back right in this new media game too, is boundaries. Right. Everything ain't for the microphone. We don't got to talk about every aspect of everything, right? But, you know, I'll give you the floor, bro. I just want to, it was always something I've heard about, you know, as a kid. And it's crazy. I never thought that I would experience closure in the matter, right? Like, let me rephrase that, because I don't want to sound disrespectful to any of these gentlemen's family. Not closure personally, but knowing what I guess karma caught up with that guy, right?
I feel like
it's like we watched a movie.
I feel like fuck the snitch and fuck everything else. Just for the way you did a nigga that made sure you was fed, made sure, you know what I'm saying, you got put on when you got out. I really want to chop you in the fucking throat for taking that. I ain't gonna hold you.
But this would be a good experience, man, for you to work on your anger and your inner chi.
Fuck you.
You know what I'm saying?
That was the last one, nigga. I had one earlier. I want to fuck you up right now.
It's fire.
Fuck you, nigga. Matter of fact, podcast over, nigga. Fuck this episode. Nah,
out of here, B. Like, flip this.
Nah, I just feel like you got what you deserve, bro. Over the Rich Porter thing. Fuck everything else. Take everything else off the table. The snitching, all that shit. The way you did that, mans, bro. Over drugs, my nigga.
The way he talked about it, too.
The way you glorified and talked about it like it wasn't shit. It's well deserved, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, both of y'all right, man.
I don't feel bad for the kid one bit. And as far as Rich Porter's family popping bottles, they should have. They should have celebrated. That's street justice.
This is the thing, too. Fam. When you think about all the people, like, some people say that Alpo was, like, responsible for messing up a whole, like, era of street culture. Yeah. All those $1 million dudes that was making all that money, a lot of them got tied up into his cases. And I personally think if you get in that game, snitching is a part of it. I'm not one of those people that's naive that be like, snitching ain't part of this. You ain't supposed to snitch. We got too much data. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, snitching is a part of it.
Most of your favorite drug dealers are
It's like, hey, man, I love talking about the mistreatment of black people. I would love to see everybody on an equal playing field. But I got to acknowledge some stuff just be some nigga shit. Mm-hmm. And that's some ignorant-ass bullshit. This ain't got nothing to do with race. This ain't got nothing to do with social injustice. That's just an ignorant part of our culture. Mm-hmm. it's accountability. You know what I mean? Oddly enough, shout out to Queen's Flip, who had, built a rapport with Alpo and was speaking with him about doing some work. Alpo was recorded saying that, I guess reportedly, bro, he stopped taking the precautions. He stopped driving around in the bulletproof whips. He stopped wearing the bulletproof vest. He's coming into Harlem more and more and more from Delaware, right? And I guess he told Queen's Flip, you could hear it. You can go check it out on your own. He told Queen's Flip, he was just like, yeah, man, whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. I guess he just probably, what he been through and the way he was living, he was making millions of dollars in the 80s as a teenager. Buying Maseratis, flipping out, doing all this shit, Gucci this, buying this. He basically made Gucci.
Mm-hmm. Made Dapper Dan.
Exactly. So, and look what Dapper Dan in the 80s and 90s did to Gucci stock. You know what I'm saying? So, he's iconic in a way. He's a legend in a way. And what happens is, it's like Ho said, man, like, some people respect the dude that got shot, and others respect the shooter. Alpo was a notorious, infamous shooter. All I would say is this, man. I think it should end here. I don't got no say-so on this, but if I could talk good spirits and vibes in the air, I hope that Alpo's family would be remained out of this. But, because it's reports that his son is, on the record letting it be known he's fearing for his life. You know what I mean? So, it's the cycle of violence. I feel like this is where we're talking about, bro, because we don't normally talk about shit like this. But fam, it's different because pop culture is involved, because it's a part of a movie. It's like a movie. It'd be like if The Godfather was real, right? Was 100% accurately real, and one of those characters in real life got back at the villain. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like one of their grandsons or sons or something like that knocked off somebody that, or you know what I mean? This is like what happened is something that, a story that was captivated in hip hop folklore through a movie, although well entertaining, right, and iconic. It wasn't the 100% accurate story. Alpo has told the story, and that's not what happened in the movie. Rico's character is beloved, or maybe or just maybe like the mystique ain't there, right? They're like, it's kind of like how people love Bishop and Juice. Like, we knew he was foul, but we also knew there was some hurt there, and there was some like confusion, so we didn't really fault him all the way. It's kind of the same thing with the Rico character, which is, I thought that was great that Damon was able to put that in there. But if you tell the real story, and they show him pulling up like everything is sweet with Mitch in the movie, and Mitch jumps in like after they eating right now, everything's good. Like, what's up, kid? Jumps in, and he got his homeboy from DC in the back, and within a 64-second time span, he's giving his boy a signal to stand up and shoot him 2 times in the head, and then he don't pass, right? And just that quick, I don't want to go back into the gory story of what happened to that character, but like, if they put the accurate story there, there's no way that Cameron's character isn't as beloved. He becomes like a true villain. He like the uncle in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you scumbag, right? But because they didn't really tell a story like that, understandably so. He's the only party nigga. He's one of the other parties that's alive. Like, and you had to probably go through him to tell the story, right? And have his kind of likeness in there. So, yeah, it's a lot, man. I think that's what makes this just like not just some regular street stuff, because it's like, it is regular street shit, but it's stuff that's been brought up and made in folklore, mentioned in a million songs, referenced all type of clothing. There was somebody that dressed like a character from Paid in Full this Halloween. And that movie's old. What you got?
I already spoke on it. Like I said, karma. It's very rare you get to see the karma for niggas. Shit, niggas.
That's what I more so want to speak about. Like, we know the story, but like, you know what I mean?
Later.
That's what I meant when I was like, damn, I didn't think I would live. I don't know how to word it.
To see that nigga get out of prison. I thought he would have died in there. So when I saw him get out, I'm like, how long is he gonna make it when now that he's out?
You're right, bro.
I didn't think it was gonna be this
shit
fast.
was like a. That's what makes this kind of iffy. I don't want to get in the conspiracy bag, but it's just like this is like a real shit show that we was all waiting to watch the like crash of.
Well, here's my thing. Hold on.
Let me see the comments, just in case.
The reason I don't think it's a fucking conspiracy, it's nothing to gain from.
Yeah, I'm not going that far either. Right.
He's gonna get it. He got it from either side. Either one of the richest folks did something to you,
bro. There's 17 people that he admitted to killing.
One of the people you killed
as a part of his deal. Not to mention the people he didn't. I didn't even get to the 30 some big time street lord kingpins that you told on.
Who knew? Who knows? Who tried to take you out?
Hov said in a song, "I'm who Supreme would have become if Alpo didn't snitch." What does that mean? Think about that. Like, it ain't no telling. That's why I was just like, man, this hit right here is gonna go down legendary, because I really don't think they're gonna figure out, even with all those cameras on the street. I'm just like, bro, this could have came from anywhere. Where do you start? Honestly, I mean, the feds might have an interest in it because he was in. It came out that he was still in the witness federal protection program, and they might take that personal. Like, you don't kill one of our witnesses. That go on our record. As far as other people, like, well, damn, y'all ain't keep Alpo safe. But he was popping out. I'm with Matt, man. I think he had a death wish. I don't think he was moving like a person that was fearing not being here or being taken out.
Yeah, he definitely didn't fear for his life at all, nigga.
Speculation. You think that's like from just being, like, maybe he was just always like that? That's how he was able to be who he was in the streets? Or do you think that comes from more so him going through what he did, being who he was in the streets, and now looking at it like, fam, we like to put our feelings on other shit. Like, I would like to think if I knocked that many people off, I would feel guilty. But
we're talking about Alpo.
We're talking about, exactly. That's what I was just correcting myself on.
He's a different nigga. That's a different breed.
He went out like,
he was a
like
different
he was
breed
supposed to go
altogether.
out. That's how he went out.
So no,
it was
option A to answer your question.
Yeah. It's real, man. That's real. Like I said, man, prayers to the families. Hopefully that does give some closure, because imagine, seeing him do what he was doing, moving the way he was moving. He coming through looking fly.
And knowing he killed your brother,
and knowing, like, father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a trauma. And, like, America likes to, like, pity other nations.
Think about the mom. Think about
like,
Rich Porter's mom.
America likes to pity other nations.
Yeah.
That, like, have stories like that. Well, they have to be tormented and see the men that kill and their people every day. And I'm just like, bro, there's a lot of people living like that in American neighborhoods today that can honestly go to you on every given moment and point out the person that is directly responsible for their loved one not being here no more. But it's like it dares you if you come from our communities. Like, Well, do something about it. Or let the system not do nothing about it. Because, like, what was she supposed to do all these years? Go try to retaliate? What was one of his, you know what I mean? Like, not that anybody would be mad or probably judge any of the family members that tried to do that, but what are they really supposed to do? You know what I mean?
Ain't much you can do.
It's just foul.
It's one of them things like, okay, you do kill him. Rich ain't here. He still ain't coming back.
And then now you ruined your life, nigga, because you're going to jail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. It's just like, dog, when I seen the shorty that had put this post out about, you know, rest in peace, you know, to King Von. Like, everybody know Von was on that demon time, and I'm not judging anybody in these situations because it's oppositional. You feel me? It's war on both sides, and I just, you know, hey, God bless everybody involved. Hopefully this shit can get out of our culture. But she was disgusted because she had, like, found out, you know, he had made the Billboard. So now everybody know, oh, he's rapping. He got an album out. Damn near platinum single. She seen that. She, like, take a picture of this shit. Like, she just broke down, bro. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you telling me the person that my brother is a fucking rap star now? Like, nigga, it's like where she live at? Like, nigga, she's this big ass.
Little Tim?
Nah. Talking about what Von did to her, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
when Von hit, blew up. Okay.
So now Von, like, so she's like, she sees this big ass billboard of this nigga, this album, nigga, right in front of her crib, like right there. Like, she sees it every day. And she started posting the pictures of him in court, like this she had of him, like, defending himself, thing against the woo. Bro, the shit had over hella witnesses. Like, you know, it was just one of them things where, like, they dropped the ball. You know what I'm saying? And he got through it, you know? So, yeah. Rest in peace to everybody, man. Rest in peace to the guys, man. Rest in peace to all these people involved in this senseless violence. You know, because now we know the federal government infused the neighborhoods with crack cocaine and made millionaires out of delinquent children. You know what I'm saying? And gang members. So you throw that all together, man. That's what you're gonna get. Everyone is responsible for their own personal accountability, though, because a lot of people come from those environments and didn't do those. You know, chose to participate. But yeah, I just thought that was a crazy story. I'm sure everyone, you know, everyone's giving their take. I just want to say over here, we just gonna kind of let the facts as we know them, you know, or as they're verified, come out. We're not gonna be jumping on the bandwagon of doing an Alpo update every day. But because we're paid in full, man, just because of the individuals affected and involved and the legendary status of the story, a lot of mothers realized that their kids was really in danger when Darnell's mother received a finger in a McDonald's bag, and that made the news. And then for him to be found the way he was found, that's when you can really, like, see the activism start to connect with the youth more in terms of, like, yo, these kids are literally living in war conditions. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me those young kids in Chicago ain't living in a war zone. Bro, you can just go look at the news in Chicago and count them up. Mm-hmm. Every day, run them up. Like, it ain't like that in war zones. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's a crazy thing, man. There's another theory that's attached to all this. We're gonna slide away from this case. We're gonna let that rest over there. But you know, I'm hearing people say that, like, you know, was Alpo still working with the boys, right? Because he was in witness sec and all that stuff. Was he still working? And what they mean by that, he was out for about 6 years. He's moving around, fresh to death. Look like he ain't, you know, hurting for $1. Same Alpo, right? Flashy, all that stuff, doing his thing. But then a person brought up the fact of, in the last 6 years, how many New York City RICO cases have popped up in the hip-hop sector where he would have a lot of influence. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's rumored that Alpo, you know, helped out and loaned a lot of guys money when a lot of labels was being formed in that time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? A lot of clothing lines and things like that we know. So what if some of those connections, and we just throwing shit at the wall at this point, but what if some of those connections, you know what I'm saying, was like, okay, well, yeah, and he's working with them, you know what I mean, and on the Yonde, like, you know, because you're already seeing like articles out there like, oh yeah, the feds didn't need him anymore. Yeah. Because I'm like, man,
fed him to the wolves.
Yeah, because I'm taking that to the whole Fetty Wap just got hit with a RICO case, man, involving a state correction officer who's a part of the RICO, and over 100 kilos of the yada and the fentanyl. I didn't even know people really was buying fentanyl on purpose. I thought that was some accidental drug shit. I thought that you got that when you ain't want it.
Nope.
The way people were dying doing that.
Well, you remember the old saying on the dope man on the block, if your shit kill somebody, you got that dope.
Yeah, but man, that shit was a saying. I didn't think they was really out here.
That's just for real.
I mean, that's crazy.
They want somebody to OD one time. I mean, your shit potent.
I know back in the day, I've heard that, but I thought we had progressed somewhat of like, that's crazy. It's scary, bro. God bless.
I was just watching one of the drug documentaries, Drug Inc. or something. Mm-hmm. And the episode was from like 2017. Nigga said it. Said, you want somebody to, nigga, almost die off your shit, nigga?
Says the best advertisement.
Yeah.
That's scary. But it's scary.
I'm glad I get
because we still criminalize addiction. That's the only reason why it's scary.
Yep.
Because imagine if you did that to a cancer patient or an animal that was, you know, extinct. Go look at an animal that's tagged as extinct or a national treasure or something like that, and you go do something heinous to it and record it and see how the law comes down on you.
Right. You might do.
If we did that for people that fall victim to addiction, instead of criminalizing addiction, they're trying to do that with the opioid crisis because that's not an urban city crisis.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to make it a race thing. It just is. Like, when people get hooked on crack or half crack, they treat them like kingpins.
Yep.
They give them all type of double-digit numbers for possession, for users' amounts. You know, like, I've seen how police officers treat people that are strung out on the streets on crack. It ain't nothing friendly about it. Nope. There's nothing like heartwarming or, you know, nothing like that. So it's just almost with disgust and disdain. So,
well, let's think about it. How do we treat a heroin addiction? Why getting you hooked to meth? Put you on methadone, and then we wing you off with another prescription or something after that.
But majority of the people that were dying from overdoses from this new crisis, opioids. See, the thing is the government and the people that run the government have racial issues and racial tendencies. The people that's behind this money, the drug dealers and the money makers that control these politicians, maybe sometimes not so much. So they don't give a damn who's getting addicted to these drugs.
Right.
How much can I get for it? There's a documentary out about it, this opioid shit. How much can I get for it? They literally created this drug without it needing to. Like, they just had the money. Yep. A dude basically had invested $40 million of his family's inheritance money. His family was on his ass. What'd you do with $40 million? Right? He didn't took it out the family's money.
Right.
Like, trust me, nigga, we about to be up. And so they on his ass, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna shout out the documentary, like, but they on his ass. Like, we ain't getting paid for advertisement, right? But I'm watching the documentary. They're on him. His family, you know, some of the like that, they hitting him up with attorneys. Like, bro, what are you doing? You have to produce like what you spent that money on, like. And so he just like, man, just give me a little bit of a minute, hold on. And so finally, he prepares a presentation. Where he tells the family, he shows the family what he spent $40 million in. And he invested with a few others, and they were creating this. They was creating the Percocet 10, and then they made the the 20,
30.
30, and then they made the 80.
Kill people.
And they got too hot. So the government came in. I think Obama and them was when they came in and shut the 80s down.
Man, what the fuck you need an 80 milligram?
Fam, the 80, yeah. So, yeah. So that shit right there popped off. But this is the thing. They made the drug. Got test people to test it on, do all this type of things. People in chronic pain. I was already addicted to other painkillers, right? And they got the nod like, yo, this is the shit. Like, some kind of way leaked it to publications that it can be smoked, snorted, shot, and ingested. For over-the-counter, like you were trying to, like my goal is to get this to everyone. It's safe. It's over-the-counter to help people, or even if it's prescribed, like it's going to help people. Why would you tell people that they can snort it, shoot it, or smoke it? Like, it was all kind of red flags, but the people that they was connected with, this big money, this is the white, like the 1%, the elites, and they own the politicians. They got the shit through, and then it was just like, we just got to find doctors to figure out a reason to get this shit to motherfuckers. So then they start pushing doctors like, no, try this. And so now you get some people that's in chronic pain and you give them those. Yeah, they like, yo, this is the shit. Like, give me that. I don't want that Vicodin. Give me those. Give me it. And so they were seeing it, and it started with the 10s, and it was like, it was really, it was doing good in terms of just pain tolerance. It's not giving you any kind of like health properties or anything like that, but that broken leg, you're not going to feel it the same off two of these or off one of these.
Right.
Then the pharmaceutical company goes back and was like, oh no, you got to teach them how to take it more. So they start pushing the doctors to, you need to tell these people, like, if you break your foot, okay, doc, so I want you to take 2 of these Perk 10s. Now you're going to go to La La Land, right? Don't be a person like us that smoke herb. That even when the doctors say don't drink them.
Oxycontin when they had them?
But that's what I'm saying.
Take those away.
Right. No, but that's what I'm saying. These are the same company. It's the same company that created this, that did the Perk 30 and all this shit, right? So that's what they're building off of. There's like, nigga, this is right here. So it all hit at one time. You feel me? But with the Perk 30s, they got into like the cancer patients, the people dying, people that just literally have had like multiple bone breaking injuries that are being put together, like in rehabbing. It's pro athletes, like they was getting it in those, like in the world. And what they did that was so gangster and dishonest is they began, because they own the doctors, they begin to coach the doctors in how to like make drug dealers out of the drug addicts out of the patients. Like, no, you push this. If there's a certain amount of pain involved, no, you push this. That's why it's so hard to get them shits now. If you really need them, or if you need anything that's serious, it's hard to get that now because, nah, man, so many doctors have been disbarred, arrested, all type of shit because they were found to be culpable. And a lot of the shit that's messed up, some of them were like let off and exonerated because it was proven that they were coerced and like basically educated to do it by their superiors. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, this is how we have to administrate this drug. Is you need to tell doc, since he's getting out of here at 9 a.m, we already gave him a dosage. At 2 when he eats, he needs to take 2 more. Right, so you gonna be high the whole time. You're not really you like, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm getting through it. You're healing on your own and all that stuff, but you're just high.
Masking the pain.
You're just masking the pain to a point where you're so high that you're not really feeling it. Right.
So as soon as that motherfucking you ain't got no more of the meds, you already addicted.
Nigga.
Now your
not only
move,
you're addicted.
Your next move is you can't get the prescriptions, then you go get heroin.
So Pete, what they did was like, okay, then you need to tell them when they go to sleep, they need to set their alarm and wake up and take some. So it has to be in their system every woo. And that's just literally how you make a person addicted to something. And there's your opioid addiction. Yep. You know what I mean? Even Joe Budden was talking about this shit on his podcast not too long ago. He had made mention that, like, I was the one arguing with them, like, no, I don't want this. Nah, I don't want this. Nah, I kind of know my personality. I don't really want this. And then he said, like, they were so adamant, like, no, you need to take this. It's going to help us. You know, you need this to make a full recovery so you can make your tour, so you can do this, woo, woo, woo. And he said, and they was he's like giving them to his then manager, like, oh, he needs to take these. And he said, next thing you know, it's just like, well, shit, I mean, they do feel bomb. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do like the way this shit feel. And then next thing you know, I'm addicted to these joints. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and now y'all looking at me like I'm tripping.
Now I'm a fiend.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a cold thing that I think that society really needs to look at, because when you see that, millions of people died, hundreds of thousands of people incarcerated, right? No jail time, found guilty. Said organization. I'm not even gonna call them a corporation. Said organization, this organized crime unit, like they literally were found guilty and paid like a $500 million fine, but it was like literally like I think 10 cents on the dollar compared to what they made. Yeah, it was like, it sounds crazy to us. Mm-hmm. Like, damn, they got to pay $500 million.
They made $5 billion.
But when they made $20 billion that quarter, like, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, man, get these motherfuckers they $500 million and go on and kick it. Like,
my face.
And so, and now what happens when that happens? I realize this is the real hustle and why these corporations do that. It's not just because they can get away with it and it's not that much money. Mm-hmm. That's part of it. But once you do that, correct me if I'm wrong, because it's new, it's a new hustle, like it's a new scam. Now the government comes in and makes guidelines that legalize your illegal shit. So now it's just like, oh, okay, we can't do this no more. They made Napster. Remember when they created Napster? They made that nigga a criminal. They tried to put the nigga in jail. I think they did all that type of shit. Took his money, right? He had to leech on to Facebook and rob them for some bread to get back on, according to the movie. But what happened after that? They made guidelines to where that introduced streaming legally. And now there's legal streaming services. Like, that's just doing what he was doing. But when he did it, the shit was illegal. Now the government has stepped in, nigga, and there's precedents in a case that like, okay, well now if you do this, this, and this, you can do this. There's, you know, so you see how that weird shit works? Like, so they benefit for getting caught anyway. You're going to pay pennies on the dollar, and then now there's going to be some new shit to where you ain't going to be getting it like you used to.
But you're still going to be getting
imagine if like a neighborhood coke dealer, right, that's selling hundreds of kilos and shit, he gets caught, and it'd be like, you made about $20 million this year?
Give us $500,000.
Give us $500,000, and for now on, you have to pay a 10% FDA tax because we have to run your coke through the FDA, or they have to come stamp it to make sure it doesn't have anything that's going to cause people to overdose or it's not too strong. You don't think the average coke dealer would take that?
Oh, fast.
Like, oh, okay, bet. Nigga, now you're illegal, like you're legitimate. Can't nobody do nothing wrong with me, right? But that's what some of these pharmaceutical companies are, fam. They're legal coke dealers.
Synthetic heroin. We got synthetic meth, synthetic coke. We got synthetic everything, for sure.
It's like, why? I'm not the dude arguing just for drugs. I'm not trying to sound like funny, like, you know what I mean? But that's why when I've heard certain politicians bring up like legalizing all drugs, nigga, it kind of made sense. Kind of made sense. What happened with weed?
Right. Well, there ain't the synthetic weed started.
Look how the game went up, though.
They got rid of that shit. Weed niggas was like, nah. Get the fuck up out of here. You ain't fucking up our game.
What's up, man?
Get that shit the fuck up at K2 or K5, whatever. K-Wood, get the fuck up out of here, nigga. You ain't fucking up our mode, nigga. Reefer Madness already did that once, nigga.
Put it like this. Weed heads ain't smoking no CBD.
No.
Without a jar of some fire next to it.
Or some wax in that shit or something.
Like, real talk. We'll roll up some CBD, some bomb CBD right here with some fire.
Yep.
Either with it or next to it.
Because that shit by itself.
That's not what we're here for.
Yeah.
That's how they be saying. That's not the assignment.
That's not. Yeah, we didn't sign up for none of that.
Fetty Wap.
Yeah, what's up? He got hit with fentanyl and coke, you said? Fentanyl and coke. The way niggas gonna start cracking down on fentanyl, he definitely catching. Ooh, my bad. Wheezy.
What you over there doing, dog?
I'm not wheezy now.
Stop being disrespectful.
George gonna be mad as shit.
Yeah.
I knocked his wife all on the ground.
I'm not trying to hear
that. He gonna catch a 10-15 piece.
Right?
With the fentanyl.
And look, he got a 6'9" that thing.
Yeah. Can't nobody say he's really gangster like that no way anyway.
Fam, look. You got one eye.
Yeah.
Nobody want to be in prison with one eye. You know what I mean? Like,
you
literally got a disability right now.
I don't know, pun intended, but you ain't gonna see a lot of shit coming.
You're famous. You're a dick, even though that's true.
No, that's what was real.
I know, but still, I gotta recognize the humor in that.
Like I wasn't even. I literally. Like,
I know
I was
you wasn't
trying to be like no pun intended, but you take this much from somebody, Keem. You take that from somebody. Yeah, you have no nigga. I can't see the nigga right here. I'm not being funny, but that's really what you looking at.
Fam.
That's fucked up, bro. Like,
I don't wish
that on nobody.
That on anybody. And this is my thing. And like again, I'm not trying to sound like the guy that's
scary.
in here.
You just doing that, Keem.
Right. You see how
scary,
real that shit
bro.
is. The reason why I understand that is because I did the same thing. I was
bro,
like, damn,
that's
bro, like
scary, nigga. Like I have no peripheral over here. Like, nah, that's scary, bro. I ain't gonna think about not having that.
This is another thing I'm thinking.
Bro, that's scary.
Who's the idiot? The millionaire that is quick to be like, here, well, I need to tell y'all to get back to my millionaire lifestyle. Because I came from the trenches. Nobody gave me shit.
Or the nigga who ain't gonna tell.
Or the millionaire
that won't tell and then go to prison.
That goes to prison. Money. And because this is, if you go into the street code that they tell us, right? He the money. So technically, when there's a RICO, everybody that got picked up with him, the first thing they should be saying is like, yo, man, why y'all got Fetty? He ain't got shit to do with this.
Right.
That's what they should have been saying about 6ix9ine. Like, yo, what you doing? What, he ain't got nothing to do with this, man. He's just an artist, bro. Like,
because you need him for the lawyer,
unilaterally. Because now, give him something to work with, bro. Like, if you do that, I'm like, okay, well, because then he'd have kept his street cred.
Yep.
You could have had the rest of your whole gang ain't in jail, nigga. He still would have had muscle behind him.
Right.
He still would have been able to run around and do all the wild shit he was doing because he'd have been connected and niggas would have still had the respect. So, and his lore would have went up.
Yep.
They'd be like, oh yeah, he held niggas down. He shit down. Woo, woo, woo. He still could have been rapping free the guys. Right? Some of them was going to be coming home sooner than people thought.
Right.
They could have had a reunite type situation.
Right.
They could have been like Bobby Shmurda and them.
Right.
It didn't work out that way. Right? So, in this situation, I'm like, man, if all that street shit that niggas be talking is true, like, yo, man, you got to protect the bag, B. Yo, my nigga, you got to protect the bag. Like, that's the money play. You ain't, you go sit at 10 for them, nigga. He gonna hold you down. Okay. Fetty should have been out already.
Right.
Niggas should be like, yo, bro, why you got him? What do you mean? Like, you ruined his show?
Right.
Like, what are you doing? Like, Fetty has nothing to do with this. The nigga just buried his daughter. Got an album coming out that just came out. Was being received, on the low as well. Sound like it had some movement traction. Was about to, do his co-headline type thing at the Rolling Loud, New York.
Fucking Rico. He caught that before the Rolling Loud.
About to go on stage. That's how they do him there. You know that's like the 8th rapper to get served with their Rico.
They didn't catch him right before he walked on stage, bro.
Pull it up, B. Hey, this the crazy shit about it. This is where I'm starting. Look, I used to want to go to Rolling Loud, fam.
I don't want to go.
Cause look, D went and was just like, yo, we going to Rolling Loud. But then I might even, I ain't gonna front, like, I think he's went to a couple since we talked about it. But I know I definitely probably need to put a little birdie in his ear to kind of have that nigga off that just a little bit. Because I'm like, bro, that shit right there, I don't care if you're not doing anything illegal. It just seems to me that they go and pick on young black urban millionaires there. Like, I can't. If you start watch, we'll talk about it one day off the joint. Like if you start looking in to the people that when their cases were, yeah, we own them. Rolling Loud is definitely working, in my opinion,
With the feds.
allegedly, with those people.
With the federales.
From our perspective, allegedly, I'm gonna step on a limb and be like, yeah, them people over there. Because I'm gonna tell you another thing. You know, they say Dirk smart, man. The way he move. See all the trouble he got going on the other side of his little situation. You know, Dirk's supposed to be at Rolling Loud.
He ain't go.
Had time. You think he pulled up?
Nope.
I'm gonna sit this one out.
Right at home.
Y'all keep that bag, because right now, as a young black rapper that talks about anything street,
Rico.
that got any friends that done put in any type of work in the streets, that I'm just trying to help out or give security jobs or street or road manager jobs, like figuring out ways for the label to have to pay them to be around me and travel with me. Which most rappers are in that situation that I just described. That's how this shit works. You have to build a team around you. You get this label deal. The label's investing a certain amount of resources and assets in you. But if you're smart, you're going to come with your own management. And then they're going to have a group of people around. All these assets, right, are producing, like no pun intended, assets. So, okay, well, I got a budget of this over here from Rock Nation. I got a budget over here from Atlantic. I'm going to put that together. That allows me to put you on this salary, this salary, this salary. You my mans, nigga. Wherever I'm at, you good, nigga. Come on. I keep 30 mans in my pocket. So we just going to be good off the strength, nigga. You feel me? And then we going to take this like here. I got some low money, budget money. Okay, everybody, we going shopping. We going to be fresh. We going to do this. We going to do this. And you're setting up YouTube interviews for certain guys and shit because they gonna get paid for it and do all this type of shit. That's what you do. So if you're doing that for people that's from your neighborhood and you're from this culture, chances are at least 2 or 3 of them dudes are been in jail, felons, possibly. 1 or 2 of them even might have some kind of gang tie. Like know some niggas that's gang tied. Like remember how we was talking about it on previous episodes, like how quick they can like allocate you a gang and just you know what I mean, or just hey, this is what they are.
Everybody with the same t-shirt,
right, fam. Like
everybody with the same.
They
hat,
take our slang and
same
criminalize it.
Shit,
right. It's intriguing to me because I'm like, damn, you're seeing. And look, the Southern District of New York is not to be played with. If you don't know what that is the official FBI headquarters. And they are the most prominent, the most well-funded, and the most like long-reaching. That's why they're the ones handling all the cases against the president. Like they can do all this at once. A lot of people said R. Kelly's ass was cooked, and they knew he was really going down when the Southern District of New York picked up one of the trial. Like, oh, you're going to jail for that, and that was the RICO case they hit him with. They created a RICO style to get him. That's how like. They made the RICO there. Like that's how they know the RICO in and out. So they know how to. You know what I'm saying? They even like was saying, they was bragging about it. Like we want this to be serve as like a blueprint for other federal prosecutors that hey, this is how you use the RICO. Cause nigga, they're in New York City. They've RICO'd everybody. That's where the RICO came from. All those mobsters and crime bosses and Bumpy Johnsons and all of you. That's who they made the RICO for. All those sultans and shit that was coming over to New York as diplomats and doing all type of faulty shit. Come on, bro. Like just different type of high-powered elite people from all the around the world are in that city. So yeah, you got to have a different set of rules if you're going against rich motherfuckers like that. That got all these different people working for them in conjunction of their business. You know what I'm saying? And their criminal entity or whatever it is that's sustaining them making money illegally. So it makes sense. And so like you don't ever want to get picked up by that place.
Right.
Like that's when you know like, oh, they really trying to like put me down. You know what I'm saying? They trying to really put me down. Like the Southern District of New York. Think about it. Motherfucker didn't even live in New York.
Right.
There's a federal FBI building in DC. Why they ain't on Trump's head? They're not as long reaching. Like they just, it's a crazy thing. And that's why if you look back, Trump had the attorney general just fire the head attorney of the Southern District of New York, just trying to throw everything off. Like, hey man, just fire him. I know it's an elected position and he's doing good. Fire him though. So that's all part of it. Fetty Wap got hit with charges, Southern District of New York. Fetty Wap might be gone, man.
At least 15 years.
It's sad, bro. It's sad. You know how much money he made? What was he with Universal?
Who? Oh yeah, Fetty Wap. Nah, them singles the nigga had was fucking.
No, like his album. He had one of the more successful albums of the last damn near 20 years in hip hop.
Well, yeah, because dog, his like
how many of them was it?
Singles are fucking platinum.
But it's more. I think he had like a 9. I mean, I was talking about it. He had like 9 or 11 high charting joints back to back. Grammy, all that. And it's the thing. When he got signed, he got a signing bonus. Boom. Okay, we're going to work on the album. Okay, boom. No, I got an album. Well, listen to this. We putting it out. Boom. As made. Takes off. The label is like, I'm like, damn, bro, like, how much? It's crazy because they made so much money off of him. And the way it works is if you get an artist like that you don't put a lot of money in and they take off, all the money you take in, the way the splits are is you're barely paying them. So now you use all those millions to go build an artist. That's why if you look at the trend of a major label, Doc Ock pops off. He has a quirky style that fuses EDM, nigga, and hip hop and West Coast and East Coast soul beats and Midwest stuff, all that shit. They're gonna find a knock that look, nigga, mark my words. You get a single that pop, your album chart well, they're gonna go find another little Doc. Like it's gonna be like, nigga, his name gonna sound similar. He gonna have a similar look and build. His style is going to be kind of like yours, but like maybe a little more polished or something. They'll go find somebody that's went to one of the greatest music schools and pay him like, no, dress like this. No, talk like this. No, you're going to make music more like this now. Like, and put him up as a competitor. Like, they pumping millions into him. They fighting you for every dollar because, nigga, you don't need them. You really done it without them. He made them songs in Jersey somewhere, nigga. Poor. That's what's sad about it to me. Like, because evidently, if these charges and allegations are true, I don't like to just assume motherfuckers are stupid. Like, niggas make decisions based on what they feel like their options are, B. Like, you're hearing Meek Mill. You're hearing Keisha Cole come under the comments and say, oh yeah, I never got a check for music. I think Meek said, I'm pretty sure I sold a lot of records. And I know a lot of money was spent on me. But I just want to know, because obviously he's trying to get this information from Rick Ross and them, allegedly, and it's not getting out. He can't get it. So now he didn't went public with it. You know, he signed the Rock Nation in the management deal. That ain't your record label. We wonder why some of these artists partake in silly things, or risky things. You know? Look, this could be a situation of where Fetty just got caught up in some shit because of the niggas that's around him and the niggas that he show love to and break bread with. Or he can actually be in knee deep in, you know what I'm saying, and hustling.
Fetty Wap's fucked either way. He's fucked if he didn't do it and his hands are on it somehow. They're handing out RICO cases like it's fucking Tic Tacs, nigga. For real.
But some of these things it remains to be seen. But I'm wondering if some of these things are going to be dissolved in the fact of like, okay, we really don't have no strong RICO case on you. But we gonna build it, sit you down, slow your money up, take your money, and then you have enough money to fight it and get resolved to this. But you ain't gonna be running around driving past us and Bugattis and rapping about being rich and all that shit no more. Because they play that way too. Right. We might not have you on 50 years. You might have gotten out just in time. The little motherfucking rap career, you lucky motherfucker. You got away. All right? You hit the lottery, nigga. You're rich. But how much money can we get? How much bread can we take of this? You paying millions of dollars in attorney fees now. Right. We fining you for this, and that. They did it with Bill Cosby. When they found out that the Supreme Court was making them release him and saying that they violated his rights and had no basically right to ever put him in jail or even try to charge him, they held him on what became 55, 57, don't quote me on the dollar amount, $100 worth of fines based on like the grass or the like something like that at his house while he was in jail. It was like the landscaping or something like that. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? It was some shit like that and fines that the city had just kept leveraging on him because it was like, oh, your trash ain't out. You know, just hitting him with all these fines while he was in prison. Just felonious fines. And they used that to try to hold. And his attorney that got word basically just wrote a check and out of his own money and paid that shit. Like, nah. Right. Like, he's good. You know what I mean? Like, and that was just a way to keep him in jail just a little bit longer. To delay his shit. So these motherfuckers be spiteful and they take shit personal all the time. How do we know Fetty Wap riding down in the Maybach, chilling, just did a show in his home city area, get picked up by the boys, they roll down on him. Hey, we want to talk to you about something, man. Fan of your music. What do you know about this guy? You know how they do? And Fetty held it down like, nah, I don't know nothing. I don't know nobody. Talk to my lawyer. Right? Now they bring him in. We want you. We know that you've been seen with this person. This person's on the run for this. But he was in this video with you here. Like, when's your last known whereabouts of this person? And he like, man, I don't really know. Eat a dick. I don't know what you guys talking about. I know him through some friends. He was, you know, whatever. I don't really have any information on him. I can't tell you where he is. Now, okay, nigga, you hit with the Rico. I'm just saying, you could have been really fucking around with 100 kilos and all that. But I'm just saying, like, when you hear that, do you really get that vibe from Fetty Wap? I'm not judging it just off his music. I'm just saying that, like, he made some money. Like, it's not like he poor out here. He can go tour all around the world and do those songs. So it just makes, to me, like, obviously to us it makes no sense, but it just don't sound 100% believable. And I've gotten to the point where with the feds, I don't just trust everything that they say. Like, I've never trusted anything, you know, whatever they say. They just gotta prove to me that he was guilty.
He gonna get proved guilty. He ain't even gotta be fucking guilty at all, bro. All you got, like you said, nigga, put him at the head of anything. Put him in an email conversation. Put him in a text message conversation. Put him in any type of conversation that connects him to this dope in a way that he didn't even know there was dope.
And that's what I'm getting to more. I think people don't understand, like, these young cats don't understand, like, conspiracy. And they don't understand this Rico shit, man, that they doing. Hey, man, they're getting all-time creative with that. They're doing things like you said, like the way they went. I'm not, you know, saying anything was wrong or anything. I'm not saying sides or anything. But the way they went at R. Kelly, a lot of, like, lawyers and legal minds was shooting it down like, oh, they'll never get that to stick. Can't do this. Isn't a Rico case. I heard the dude that got Trayvon Martin off of killing I mean, I got the dude that got George Zimmerman off for killing Trayvon said that on TV. That he didn't think R. Kelly was going to be convicted of a RICO because it just didn't make sense. It didn't go with the guidelines of what a RICO is. All this stuff. They still got it done. So that goes to show you, man, like, when they want you and they feel like you're a threat of enough magnitude, there's no stopping at what they're going to do. What the hell? We'll let my nigga get his
Might go ahead, talk.
No, I'm just saying. Um, yeah, a lot of people brought up the fact that I guess he had just buried a daughter. Rest in peace to his daughter. I didn't really remember that. And then, you know, a newly released album. It's just crazy. The timing, the way they picked him up. I'm like, man, don't arrest me while I'm about to go on stage at And I can let you know that they definitely was doing that and probably to try to embarrass him. I heard some people argue that they might have done that because strategic purposes. Maybe it was a safer, easier way to get him. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's crazy though. Some mod duties.
Bad as fuck for Fetty Wap, nigga. If he ain't really got nothing to do with it, it was like some Casanova type shit.
Man,
I feel horrible for that.
I'll be
nigga.
honest with you, bro. It's gonna sound controversial. I feel bad either way because watching this documentary that's on Netflix about the opioid crisis, go check it out if you want. I'm not naming it because I feel a way. I feel a way at the sympathizing of the situation, the willingness to understand the root cause and all the underlying factors and different elements that can lead to a person doing this and being all this, right? And I'm like, well, what about if you threw crack in a particular neighborhood? You know what I'm saying? Heroin, malt liquor, and all these different things like that. How come we haven't gotten to a place in society where we can like see those underlying issues? No one ever talks about some of these young kids and be like, you know, there's a high % chance that that's a drug baby. And there's a high % chance that child has been undereducated purposely due to the way this system is, right? Under-resourced. No one gives that kid more credit or, you know, or like lessers their like judgment of that kid from that kind of environment, no matter what their skin color is in that regard, based on the harsh elements that they come from. You get what I'm saying? Like, perfect example. When Eminem was at his height, and he had brung that type of like Detroit, Midwest, white boy, say what I feel, don't give a fuck type energy to rap, right? And then we seen it, it was authentic. We boom, okay, that's what that looked like. I pop pills, talk shit about my mom, my girl, all that time. I'm with all that. I do what I do. No, they were, when the critics was on his ass, nobody stopped and was like, whoa, look where he come from. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at his environment. Look at the things that he had to endure and all that type of shit. Like, that don't come up when you come from a certain type of environment. So it's just odd. And I use him because I didn't want to make it strictly racial. It's more economic based and social politically based sometimes. But then like there's certain fractions that like, okay, because majority of the people that was selling Oxy and got rich in the illegal sense of the Oxy game were not black and brown drug dealers. There was a lot of suburban young white men that got the drop on that game because it was basically like something that dwelled off into their culture. Like they got to the point where they, you know, I was watching these documentaries and they got all these dudes, man, that I started looking at their stories and I'm like, yeah, on one hand, it could be like, oh, you motherfuckers are drug dealers. Like y'all should go to jail. Y'all made millions of dollars selling these pills. You knew what you were doing. If you were black, you would have went to jail for longer. Like, I'm not on that. I'm just looking at the way they do us, man. Like, because it was the same in elements. So it ain't got shit to do with sometimes like economics. You feel me? Here it is this dude, like, they come from money. Nice environment. But still, they got caught up in this economic push that we live in, this capitalistic system. They got caught up in the idea of like, oh, well, shit, like, well, I'm working for this clinic. There's this like hack doctor there that will sign anything for prescription. And I got a buddy that broke his arm and now he, you know, he's just going through this with his insurance and he couldn't get this. And it started on some shit like that. It didn't even, their story didn't even really start like criminal minded. But his boy was lying to him about why he wanted the pills. Like, he really didn't need them like he said it. He was kind of addicted to them and was kind of hustling them. He was already kind of one step ahead. So he realized he got a friend that's square and that's into bodybuilding and like teaching people to be fit. That's what he's really trying to do. He's starting his own little business out there in South Florida. And next thing you know, he's getting hit with, hey man, I'll give you 5 G's if you get your doctor friend to give me this prescription. Well, shit, man. Like, I need that. I'm trying to do this. In his mind in the beginning, he's like, man, I ain't even think about it like it was hella illegal. Young white dude right out of college and trying to pay shit off. He's like, yeah, bro, I could pay off my truck with that. He's not thinking like, but next thing you know, these requests will come in times 10, 20, 30. And then next thing you know, you getting this money and it's just like, well, wait a minute. Him and the doctor getting his money, the doctor is like, yo, why don't we sell them? So the doctor was able to get all these scripts. The FBI agent is saying it was times in a multi-million neighborhood. He's like, man, I drove through these neighborhoods as kids with my parents just as motivation and just like sightseeing. He said, I still do that now. He said, I wasn't even really patrol over there. He said, I had some time and in between shifts and I was literally driving back, you know, to precinct and stopped through that neighborhood just to look at the real estate. He said, I'm eating a burger. You know what I'm saying? I'm parked. I'm just kind of like, you know, at the park and I'm looking and there's a shopping center and he pulls over to just kind of eat his little lunch or whatever. And he's like, man, I'm about to, you know, he said he was about to be done for the day. He said he looks to the right and he's just like, that don't look right. It's like early in the morning. And he said it was about 300 people wrapped in a line, nigga, at this health clinic waiting to see the doctor, nigga. Like, and they didn't look. He's just like, man, look, man, I don't judge people. I'm just saying, which is a lie, he's a fucking cop. But he said that, like, and he was just like, but when you look at these people and you look at the area that they're in, there's no way in hell, my nigga, like that. This is your neighborhood residential clinic. Like, you know, you're not from this neighborhood. Like, some of you motherfuckers barely got shoes on and you look like you just slept under a bridge and you're in a neighborhood across the street from homes that's cost like 11 and 10 million and shit like that dollars. So it just looked bad. Like, he was just like, what the hell's going on here? So he kind of went and reported it. And so they start kind of investigating. And man, this dude, his girl got hit with some fed charges too because they was just engaged. And it was like, what do you do? He was telling her, he's like, man, I don't know. I screwed up, man, because now I'm making all this money and it's hard to stop. Like they won't stop coming by my business. Because you know what happens when you can't be a kid in the neighborhood, decide you're going to be a crack dealer, sell crack to like 30 people and then say you quit. Every crackhead that you've been in contact with will continuously ask you where it's at. They never believe that you quit. You can't tell a drug addict that you stopped selling drugs. They're going to think that you just acting funny that day. Oh, you was just hot. Like, they're going to always ask you, or at least make eye contact. Like, you're going to have to check them. Like, hey, I don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck away from me. I don't sell drugs. Like, you'll have to get them out of there. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, shit is wild, man. Like, I don't know. That's just some of my theories, man. In other news, so we can wrap this shit up, my boy Hov, my boy LL, two of my all-time favorite MCs, man, both inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Jay-Z was personally introduced by his wife and child, but also he was introduced ceremoniously with Dave Chappelle. I thought Dave Chappelle's words was interesting. If you have not seen the video of that, man, acceptance speech, I think it's something of legendary. It was actually funny. It had emotional value to it. Like, I think you don't really get to hear Hov talk like that. So that was pretty dope. He shouted out Dame Dash, had a moment there, even though they going through in the middle of a lawsuit and all that type of shit. And he has another like court type criminal case that he's going through, and it was funny because he was just like, yeah, man, like, so after this, I guess tomorrow I'm gonna go to court. Like, it's just like, shit's kind of embarrassing. I ain't gonna lie, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's all about balance. You know what I mean? You gotta take the good with the bad. It was dope. It was funny. Who was it that? Shit. Dr. Dre introduced LL Cool J. LL Cool J's acceptance speech was equally as dope. It was dope. It was a dope moment. I like that Dave Chappelle let it be known that rock and roll, although you're inducting them into your Hall of Fame, don't ever get it twisted. These gentlemen are ours. Don't wait 30 years from now and be calling rock legends, nigga. Like, no, those are hip hop icons. You know what I'm saying? Because they tried to do that before with older generations, and it's just like, nah, don't do it. I don't even know why they're going in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but whatever. It is an honor. So I think it's Jermaine Dupri, LL Cool J now, and Hov, but I think no, there's more rappers in the rock and roll Hall of Fame. I think like Tupac and Biggie are in that motherfucker, but I think that and like NWA and shit like that is in there. But I think the Songwriters Hall of Fame, I think it's like only like 3 people in hip hop. It's like Jermaine Dupri, like Hov, and like I can't think of the other person, but it's not like who you would think. I don't think. Shit's wild. Shit's wild. What else do we have? That's really it. Once again, shout out to everybody involved in the whole, I'm just say paid in full saga. You know what I'm saying? So, interesting to get some closure on that. What else, man? What else? You ain't had nothing else going on over here? You been doing a lot of typing, nigga. What's popping over here?
Nah, some clown ass nigga that's supposed to be in my game or whatever, like robbed one of my houses for hella shit. He's telling me about it.
Nigga robbed you now, he telling you about it? Y'all be gangsters fucking
this
game.
Niggas, no, because I know in real life, I was like, since you want to be weird, nigga, I'll smack the shit out you in real life, nigga. Like, you're a fucking weirdo now, nigga.
See?
Nah, nigga, because, like, nigga, I brought you over here, nigga. You supposed to be fucking with me because shit didn't work out for you. You gonna rob me, nigga? That shows some niggas' real true character and shit, nigga. Period. So, nigga, when I smack the fuck out of you, nigga, it's because, nigga, now I think you're a fucking snake all around.
So, I feel you.
Fucking snake ass nigga. Like, nigga, I'll never trust a nigga that's a snake, nigga. You niggas take this game real serious, nigga, and he's one of them. So, nigga, you a fucking snake, nigga.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's more to it in context where, like, y'all going back and forth, right? So we don't see all this. That's how I was saying, like, when you was like, niggas got me fucked up, like, that's where the miscommunication goes from. Wild shit, man. But yeah, we can wrap it up, my guy. Oh, they got the Canelo versus Plant fight coming up probably before we get into our next show. When is that? Like on the 4th or 6th or some shit like that? I'm not sure. It's wild though. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I got Plant.
Against Canelo?
Yep. I'm gonna go Caleb. 10th round, nigga. Stoppage. That's my bold prediction. Man. You ready?
What makes you take Plant? I'm not saying that it can't happen.
I think that Caleb Plant has all the skills that, in my opinion, Canelo has traditionally ran from ever since him fighting Floyd. I think that he thinks personally, this is what I think. I think that Canelo looks at Caleb Plant as like, this is the right time to get him. And if I beat him, it's still a win that I get credit for. Canelo's got a lot to prove to me, man, ever since ducking Boo Boo and Charlo. When you vacate belts to not find your mandatory, and your mandatory is Charlo, like, that's a fight that fight fans want to see. You know what I mean? Like, equally as accomplished in some rights, and the skill set is on the same level. I just got to see Canelo before I'm more fully convinced of his superiority. I got to see him fight more superiorly athletic and skilled fighters. And he typically doesn't do that. So when I see him jump in with Plant, and then I see how the intimidation tactics and shit, I kind of just have studied, like, kind of followed lightly Caleb Plant's career. He's a different type of dog. Like, he just got a dog in him, man, and I feel like, man, he's not the fighter that's gonna be in the ring with him at this stage of his career, looking at it like, oh, I made it, I got a payday in here with Canelo. And it showed when they start having their interactions. It showed to me in the press conference, Canelo is not a boisterous person that talks a lot of shit. He was talking hella shit. And then all of a sudden, like, when Caleb Plant was just standing there with his hands behind his back, just looking through that nigga's eyes, hey, man, Canelo broke and shoved the shit out of him. And then when Caleb Plant slow walked up on him and got him on the chin, nigga, I was just like, oh, okay. Like, this is going to be a fight. The man said that he promised his deceased child that's just what he's going to do. I feel like, I don't know. I got just a strange feeling. His long, athletic, skilled style, he's going to make Canelo box him. And I think the only thing that Canelo really, I think the only thing that really, will work against Caleb Plant in this fight is the long haul. Like, I just need to be able to see him. If he can put together the best fight of his life in terms of skill, I'm going to, compete every round, and be my best self in every round, of course, if you get hurt or something like that, you dealing with what you're dealing with. But I'm talking about in terms of like, I'm not gassing out. You feel me? Like, I'm not just here trying to survive because I'm fucking tired and maybe catch this nigga. Like, no. If he can keep it skilled and tight the whole fight, bro, he's going to out. I think he's a more skilled boxer than Canelo. And I'm not one of those dudes that think because you're longer or pause or taller that like, and a guy is shorter with shorter arms that the matchup is in your favor. Because if this motherfucker know how to box inside, you're in for a long night. You're going to be on a lot of holding and pushing this nigga off you. Like, get away from me so I can punch you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're tearing my ribs up. You keep trying to uppercut me. Get away so I can start using my jab and my boxing skills. That's why, like, Floyd always say, man, you fight a boxer and you box a fighter. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't that skilled, he's about to tactical, skill you to death. If you're really skilled, nigga, Floyd, that's when he start pushing you, nigga, hitting you with the elbows, nigga, doing all that rough shit, nigga, that throw you off your game, nigga. Yeah, he's all inside and shit, nigga, doing all that shit. You be like, damn, it's a different kind of Floyd in there today. Like, yeah, because this nigga got skills and I ain't about to go play chess with him. Nah, nigga. We're playing checkers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stack these up. Now, if you're a person that wants to rough me up, get this shoulder roll. Get this pull counter, nigga. Get this jab. Get this whole movement, and I'm going to make you touch every corner of this damn ring. Are you in shape? Because you're going to have to be in shape to beat me, nigga. Them punches hurt, I ain't going to be nowhere near them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the whole concept of it, bro. So, like, I don't know. We'll see, man. I think it's going to be a good fight.
It's coming up this weekend?
I think it's this week or this weekend. I think it's like the 6th or the it's no later than the 6th. I think it's the 6th. Right here in Vegas, man. We need to go get our media credentials, man, so we can start pulling up. This nigga S though, huh?
They really ought to get beat up in real life. I'm not even gonna hold you.
That's funny.
Nigga a fucking clown. About to call a nigga and tell him like, nigga, next time I'm in fucking Reno, nigga, keep that same fucking energy. Niggas will always think that everything's a fucking fun. Nigga, no, you a snake ass nigga, and I see that now, you bitch.
Whoa.
Fuck that faggot ass.
Whoa. Man, this is another episode of the Always Talking Shit show. I'm your boy King Sincere.
And I don't need to say another goddamn word.
Everybody be blessed, man. Peace and love.
New Always Talking Shit Show.